Imagine watching a film with a gripping plot, intriguing characters, and stunning visuals. Just as the climax approaches, the screen abruptly cuts to black. Frustrating, isn't it? That's what a weak or missing conclusion paragraph does to your essay. Your conclusion is your final opportunity to leave a lasting impression on the reader. It's not just about summarizing, it's about highlighting the significance of your ideas, reinforcing your arguments, and leaving your audience with something to ponder. Think of it as the satisfying resolution to a captivating story. Just as a good lawyer presents a closing argument to persuade the jury, your conclusion should persuade the reader of the validity and importance of your essay's main points. A weak conclusion can undermine even the most well-crafted arguments, while a strong one can elevate your writing and make your ideas truly resonate. In essence, the conclusion paragraph acts as a bridge, carrying your reader from the world of your essay back to the wider world. It should leave them with a sense of completion, understanding, and perhaps even inspiration to explore the topic further. While conclusions can vary in style and approach, a clear structure helps ensure your message hits home. Think of these three elements as building blocks. First, restate your thesis in a fresh way. Remind the reader of your essay's central argument. Second, summarize key points concisely. Highlight the main points and their connection to your argument. Finally, end with a clincher that leaves a lasting impression. Your closing sentence should be memorable and thought-provoking. Remember, this structure serves as a guideline, not a rigid formula. Adapt and experiment to find what works best for your writing style. The closing sentence of your conclusion paragraph is like the final note of a symphony. It should resonate with the audience and leave a lasting impression. Offer a call to action. Encourage your reader to think differently or take action on the topic discussed. For instance, in an essay about climate change, you might urge readers to adopt eco-friendly habits. Pose a thought-provoking question to stimulate continued thought and discussion. Connect to a broader context to illustrate your topic's wider significance. End with a powerful image or anecdote to leave a lasting impression. Your closing sentence should feel like a natural extension of your conclusion paragraph. So here's a sample conclusion that puts it all together. Let's say you're writing an essay about the importance of reading for pleasure. Here's an example of how you could structure your conclusion paragraph. In conclusion, reading for pleasure is much more than just a leisure activity. It's a gateway to personal growth, intellectual stimulation, and a deeper understanding of the world around us. From expanding our vocabulary and knowledge to fostering empathy and critical thinking skills, the benefits of reading are numerous and far-reaching. So, the next time you have a spare moment, put down your phone, pick up a book, and allow yourself to get lost in the pages of a captivating story. You might be surprised at what you discover. In this example, the first sentence restates the thesis in a fresh way, emphasizing the multifaceted nature of reading's benefits. The following sentences briefly summarize key points discussed in the essay, highlighting the positive impact of reading on personal and intellectual development. Finally, the closing sentence acts as a call to action, encouraging readers to make reading a regular habit. Here are some tips to avoid common pitfalls. Now that you have a grasp of the fundamentals, let's address some common pitfalls to avoid when crafting your conclusion. Introducing new information. Your conclusion should build upon the ideas presented in the essay, not introduce entirely new arguments or evidence. Doing so can leave the reader feeling confused or as if the essay is incomplete. Using cliched phrases like "in conclusion," "to sum up," or "in a nutshell," while acceptable, can sound repetitive and uninspired. Try to vary your language and find more creative ways to signal the closing of your essay. Apologizing for your argument. Avoid phrases like, "I may not be an expert," or "this is just my opinion." Such statements weaken your credibility and undermine the validity of your arguments. Ending abruptly. Your conclusion should feel like a smooth transition from the body of your essay, gradually leading the reader to a sense of closure. Avoid ending abruptly without providing any concluding thoughts or insights. By being mindful of these pitfalls, you can ensure that your conclusion paragraph is strong, effective, and leaves a lasting positive impression on your reader. You can also try different types of conclusions. Just as there are various essay types, there are also different approaches to crafting conclusions. Here are a few options to consider, depending on the nature and purpose of your essay. The circular conclusion. This type of conclusion subtly refers back to a point, image, or anecdote mentioned in the introduction, creating a sense of closure and connection. The provocative conclusion. This approach leaves the reader with a lingering question, a bold statement, or an unexpected twist, prompting further reflection and discussion. The speculative conclusion. This type explores potential implications, future possibilities, or unanswered questions related to the essay's topic, leaving the reader with a sense of wonder and curiosity. The personal reflection conclusion. In this type of conclusion, you connect the essay's topic to your own personal experiences, insights, or beliefs, adding a layer of authenticity and emotional resonance. Remember, the most effective conclusion is one that aligns with the overall tone, style, and purpose of your essay. Don't be afraid to experiment and find what works best for you. You can improve your conclusions with practice. Mastering the art of writing compelling conclusion paragraphs takes time and practice. Here are a few tips to help you hone your skills. Read widely. Pay attention to how experienced writers craft their conclusions. Analyze the techniques they use and how they leave a lasting impression on the reader. Seek feedback. Share your writing with teachers, peers, or family members, and ask for constructive criticism on your conclusion paragraphs. Revise and edit. Don't be afraid to revise and rewrite your conclusions multiple times until you are satisfied with the flow, clarity, and impact. Remember, a well-crafted conclusion paragraph is the hallmark of a thoughtful and engaging essay. By following these tips and putting in the effort to practice, you can elevate your writing and leave a lasting impression on your readers.